Hello, I'm Robert Nichols from Boston Trust Realty Group, and today I want to talk about the two key essential pieces to the permitting process whenever you're going to be engaging in a flip that requires permitting. So, first and foremost, typically if you are going to flip a home, you will need to go to your building department and request a permit to do the work. Now, there are some instances where it's very minor work, landscaping, painting, flooring. Depending on the jurisdiction, you may not be required to get a permit, but in most cases you are going to need one. So the two most important things you want to ask your contractor about before you get engaged in the permitting process is, one, is the scope of work that you're looking to do at a particular project going to require a long form permit or a short form permit? And then secondly, you want to ask them if they have any experience in that particular jurisdiction. And when I say jurisdiction, I mean town or city. Believe it or not, every town or city has their own permitting guidelines, and which requires a different approach, a different process, depending on where you are. So to start off, long form, short form, what's the difference? So here in the city of Boston and Massachusetts, a short form permit is minor repairs. You're going in, you're going to be redoing the kitchens, redoing bathrooms, you're going to be redoing the floors, patching and painting, replacing windows, the roof, anything of that nature is going to fall under a short form permit. Really, the biggest distinction is anything that requires structural work or engineering. If you're going to be removing walls and reconfiguring a space, then you're going to need to go with the long form permit. So the reason it's important to ask this up front is the process is very different, and it takes a significant amount of more time to get a long form permit approved. I'm telling you this because I'm speaking from experience. Anytime you go for a long form, it could take anywhere from, 2 weeks to 6 weeks before your permit's approved and before your guys can actually start doing any of the work. Now, they can obviously do the demo work. That falls in a different permit. But to do any real work relative to improving the property and where you're going to make your money, you need to make sure you ask them about this up front, because it can take time. And if you have a hard money loan or you have financing on the project, this is definitely going to eat away at your financing. So you want to ensure that you allot enough time and understand what your carrying costs are going to be and work that into your ratio so that you don't get stuck in a situation where you don't have the money to carry the project as long as it's going to need to be held due to the factors out of your control, which include the city's review of your permit. The second thing is experience in the jurisdiction. So that was the second piece of this. It's important that your contractor has some level of experience within that area, only because they become familiar with the inspectors, they become familiar with the process, and the inspectors tend to give them a little bit more flexibility if they see a familiar face. If it's someone they've never seen before, it's not the end of the world, but it definitely could delay the process a little bit longer. So yes, it's important to ask that so that you know where they're coming from and you can plan ahead relative to them going in there and trying to get the building permits. And you may want to consider getting your construction supervisor's license as well if you want to start pulling permits yourself, so that you can become more familiar with the process and be the familiar face that the inspectors come to know. I hope you found this information helpful and have a fantastic day.